Welcome to Theater Advice with OnStage Blog, where we answer your questions on all things theater, from community theater to Broadway shows and everything in between. If you'd like to have your question answered on this show, just email us at theateradviceosb@gmail.com or drop us a comment on our social handles on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at OnStage Blog. I am Greg. I am a member of the editorial staff of OnStage Blog, and joining me today is the one, the only Chris Peterson, the founder of OnStage Blog, a man with more than 25 years experience directing, performing, you name it, you've done it, right?
All of it.
When it comes to community theater, and obviously you're a veteran of attending Broadway shows for 30 plus years or so. So who better to give advice on theater than you? So, for this episode, we have a question from Reddit on auditions. All right, so
Hmm.
this is a good one. The question is from Reddit user Have Mercy on Me. Um, it's about changing a word in auditions. So I'm going to read his question. We're going to throw it up on screen. Made a Reddit account just because I have an audition coming up and need a little help. I was wondering how appropriate it is to change a lyric to a song for it to make sense for your character context of the show and also for my own comfort. I'm planning on auditioning with Hellfire for Gleb from Anastasia, but I want to change the lyric from "It is the girl, the witch who set this flame" to "It is the Romanov, the witch who set this flame." Both because I wouldn't be comfortable saying the derogatory term used, and because it wouldn't be used in the context Gleb's feelings for Anastasia. Thank you in advance if anyone could give me some advice. Chris, interesting question. What are your thoughts on this?
Very interesting question. The answer is no. You don't touch the text of lyrics or dialogue in a monologue to suit your comfortability, to suit your stylizing your audition the way you want it to. Um, because something tells me that if you're so willing to do that in your audition, you would probably want to do that when you actually land a role and get the actual script from the playwright. So yeah, no, I don't, and even if it wasn't someone that was auditioning for the show, but the auditioner, so the
Mm,
director, the producers and things like that, they shouldn't be doing that either without author permission
right.
on that end. So yeah, for those reasons, no, that absolutely don't do that. Absolutely don't do that. And my thing is, look, um, know the shows that you're going to audition for. Know exactly what the dialogue that's spoken. When I would audition for a show, I would read the script ahead of time. I'd either at the very least watch the movie version of it. At the very least do that. So this way you're comfortable with the material, you're comfortable with the character that you're playing, you know exactly what you're getting into before the audition itself. It sounds like to me this person has no clue what the show that they're auditioning for is about. And also again, like again, I don't like this whole idea of changing dialogue or changing notes or things like that to suit you. It's okay to do key changes so to fit your vocal range, but to change dialogue and to change lyrics for those reasons especially is just silly. This reminds me of a time when I was auditioning for a show and a young person came in and said, I'm not going to use the pianist. I'm going to do this a cappella. And I'm just gonna, and they started snapping their fingers and singing the song a cappella. It was really bad. And
Okay.
yeah, so just don't do that. Don't do that. Go and audition, be a professional, be an actor. If you're not comfortable saying certain words that are in a script, hey, guess what? There's thousands of other songs you could pick that you don't. And plus, that song sucks, by the way, that they're Hellfire from Anastasia. Who in the world would use that for an audition? I don't know either. So that tells you a lot about this person's judgment to begin with.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to ask you though, and just to clarify for a younger listeners that are watching this, you cannot change a single word of a play without the playwright's permission. Performing
Correct.
it, right? Not you can't even change the for a. You can't change a single, right? Okay,
Not intentionally, not intentionally. And so, in the
right.
memorization of a script, I mean, not everybody memorizes sometimes 100% of the words that they're supposed to, and there's some paraphrasing that happens. But no, if you're talking about changing, altering, eliminating sections of a script, parts of a script, words of a script, That's, you can't do that. That's actually, that violates your licensing agreement.
Right. Even to fit today's, culture, or today's, like, there's performance plays that are done that are written, 50, 60, 70 years ago that don't reflect today's sensibilities. You still cannot change it
Still
to
cannot
use
change it.
modern
Now,
language. Yeah.
thankfully to that point, Greg, is that some of these playwrights are actually going back and actually editing their own work to
Mm,
fit today's standards. I'll use Hairspray as an example. They went back and said, look, there's loopholes here that actually allow all white performances of Hairspray, if you can believe it. We got to change that. So they went back and actually changed the script, changed the license agreement materials to require that the parts of color be played by performers of color going forward.
mm.
That's 100% okay. But yeah, to your point earlier, local groups, colleges, amateur groups, things like that cannot make those decisions on their own.
Right, right. So I guess the general advice is right. So if there is a song that just you're not comfortable with, even if it's a single word, find another song, right?
Find another song.
There's plenty of them. There's
Exactly.
plenty
I
of
promise there's more of them. I
them.
promise you.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap on this episode. Once again, if you have a question about theater, community theater, auditions, casting, any of that, send us a note at theateradviceosb@gmail.com, or leave a comment in our social media at OnStage Blog for Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Chris, thank you very much, and we'll see you next episode.
See you soon.